The following episode will contain spoilers. You have been warned.
You're listening to Cinema IRL, the podcast that throws you into the movie and asks the question, what would you do? Today, Amber and Scott discuss the animal horror flick Good Boy, which stars award-winning actor Indy, a Nova Scotia duck trolling retriever in a film shot exclusively from his perspective. Yes, the star is a dog, and we are so here for that. And now, Cinema IRL.
I wish I could switch places for just one day.
What would you do?
Put yourself in my shoes.
How do we handle this?
What would you do?
Put yourself in my position.
What would you do?
Now it's your turn. Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?
You're a good boy, yeah. Yeah. Don't let the evil spirits kill me, yeah.
Indy is a very good boy. Indy is our canine star of Good Boy.
Well, but he had no idea.
Yeah.
No idea.
Yeah, he was not a polished Hollywood animal actor. He was just the dog of the guy who made the film. And there is a bonus little thing after the film ends and after the credits roll from the creators of the film who tell us that, hey, this is our dog. It took us years to be able to just film a couple minutes of a time of our dog just being our dog, and he has no idea he's in a film.
Yeah, like they reiterated like at least 3 or 4 times, he has no idea he's in a film. And you're talking like it was 400 days of photography, and he showed a set or showed a clip that was 8 seconds, and he said this was literally an entire day of shooting to get 8 seconds. So, which I guess makes sense. Like you're right. He's not a trained actor, but you're just trying to make him go through paces enough until you get the shot that you want.
The trailer for this film, whether you see the film or not, watch the trailer for it because the testimonials and the reviews for it are priceless. The trailer itself is a work of art just because of
really
the
was.
reviews on it. But the most interesting part of that little bonus at the end of the film was the director really emphasizing that what we see as great acting in this dog acting worried or scared or whatnot is contextual in the fact that sometimes when they would show something in the film of Indy acting really scared because there's some sort of malevolent presence in the thing, they're actually off camera making a squeaky toy noise that he's excited about, but it's the context of then seeing, the curtain drapes move slowly and you seeing a shadow in the corner that contextually we are giving this dog emotions and saying, oh, wow, he looks scared, but it's because of how the editing does in the context of the film.
Well, it's like a lot of things. Like there have been focus groups where they've shown 2 different focus groups, like a comedy, like a half-hour comedy show. One has a laugh track and one doesn't. And consistently across the board, the one with the laugh track is always rated funnier. They can be the exact same episode. It's always, like, pretty much without exception, rated as funnier because they're giving you suggestions. Same with movie music. Like, you can change the music on something. It can be the exact same shot and 180 degrees change what you're feeling on that. So
yeah, movie magic.
It's context is everything.
So let's get to our overview so we can dig into Good Boy.
Good boy.
After a medical crisis, Todd relocates with his dog Indy to his late grandfather's rural home, only for Indy to sense malevolent supernatural forces invisible to humans. As Todd's health deteriorates, Indy must become protector in a haunted house where the boundaries between life and death blur. And the plot on this film is a little light in places because we know that Todd...
Oh, that you are being so nice right now.
We know that Todd has some sort of medical issue. He's had a bloody nose. He coughs blood. There's lots of blood. And we see little shots of him getting MRIs and having doctor's appointments. But we also see that there is some sort of funky something happening in this environment of this house where his grandfather died a couple weeks before.
Yeah, so just getting the review portion of this out of the way. For one, I love the fact that they made this movie. I do. I think the idea of doing this type of film with the dog as the legitimate star of the film.
Yeah.
Like, there were humans, but
They were
there was
secondary.
never a question as to who was the star of the film. I love that.
Yeah.
That said, the plot was terrible and so loose, and it was just like, I think they could have done way better writing on that. Like, the dog can be
or
the
leading
star.
you. Yeah.
Like, the dog can be the star, but you probably do need more of the human background to give it more story. Like, and they just kind of were like, oh, this is just happening. And you're not really explaining much. And
Yeah, there's a scene where Todd in the middle of the night starts banging his head against a closed door so hard that he makes himself bleed. And then you're thinking, okay, is he possessed by something?
he's sleepwalking.
Oh, yeah, is he sleepwalking? Is there something happening with this blood that's creating some sort of mental deficiency? You don't know. And throughout the film, you're not sure if things are happening because of this malevolent presence that has been alluded to, or what might be connected to Todd's medical condition.
Yeah, but say, we only know Todd has a medical condition that, quote, if it had been caught earlier, he could have been part of a trial, but it wasn't, so he can't. And apparently it's something that's, I guess, relatively uncurable, because it seemed like he had no actual other options. But we don't know what it was. And we don't know if it is what contributed to the malevolent spirits, if it was independent. I mean, listen, see the movie. See the movie for Indy. But do not expect a good plot. Just enjoy Indy. It's like, honestly, for me, it's Avatar. Avatar is a gorgeous film on the big screen, and I think everyone should see it on the big screen. I effing hated the first Avatar, and I'm suspecting I'm going to hate the upcoming one. But it's such a beautiful movie that I'm still going to go see it on the big screen.
So let's dig into some what would you do's in Good Boy. Okay, I'm waiting for you to say who's a good boy. You've trained me here.
Who's a good boy?
There we go.
Who's a good boy?
There we go. Thank you.
Indy's a good boy.
Indy was a very good boy.
I like how he got to play himself.
Yeah.
Like, has Tom Hanks ever played Tom Hanks in a movie?
Not to my knowledge.
But Indy did.
Yeah.
Indy played Indy.
Indy did play Indy. So what would you do if you were, and this is probably something a lot of pet owners can identify with, if you see your dog looking at something or focused on something and you don't see anything there? Because in the case of Good Boy, Indy saw shadows. He saw this weird, like, tarry black figure, and he was seeing things in this environment, but Todd doesn't see them. So a lot of pet owners, I'm sure, can identify with having something happen with a pet, saying, what are you doing? Or what are you looking at? Or what's going on, and not seeing something?
So this is probably breedist. It's probably breedist here, but it really actually kind of depends on what breed of dog it is and whether or not, frankly, it's a smart dog or not smart dog.
Okay,
Like,
let's assume it's a smart dog.
Like, if I've got a breed that I know is a smart dog and they're barking their balls off at something that I don't see, I'm checking it out, because they're smart. They're seeing something, and I know that they have smell that I can't even begin to imagine. Hell, I can't even imagine what normal human smell is, let alone a dog. I don't smell well.
What if that said pet is just looking at something and not barking? Just kind of obsessively looking at something and you see nothing.
Yeah, I mean, even still, I'm still probably willing to check it out if it's a smarter breed, because they're investigating. If it's a dumb breed, then I'm just going to be like, shut up.
Wow. Okay, we've learned a lot here.
I'm breedist.
Yeah. Oh, Todd, when he goes to his grandfather's place, which is now empty because his grandfather recently passed, his sister keeps calling to check in on him. And he gets very agitated with his sister, saying, you're treating me like a patient, you're quizzing me, all these things. But Todd has gone to this house that's in the middle of nowhere that needs a generator to be able to get electricity, and he's not well. And what would you do if you were Todd or his sister, Vera, when you have a family member, a sibling, who is very ill?
I don't think you can even say, what would you do if you were Todd? Because I think it is clear from his actions that Todd was not fully mentally there.
And it's hard to know how much of that had to do with his mental condition versus something that might have been influencing him in the house. And that's where that storyline we mentioned earlier kind of falls apart because we don't know.
Honestly, even him going to the house, like just making the decision of, oh, I have something that is terminal, is screwing with my brain, made me have to go to the hospital out of nowhere. Let me put myself in a situation where there's nobody around to frickin' help me.
And
if something
undependable
happens.
electricity.
Yeah, so like you really can't put yourself in the situation if you're Todd because Todd is in a state that is
Probably not thinking most clearly.
So in his sister's state, I mean, this is kind of how much do you love your brother? Because you're going to get pushback. Like,
and she had been there for him throughout his medical problems because we see flashbacks of when he was being admitted to the hospital and released, and she's always there, and so is Indy. So this is a long-term thing, and she's been there for it.
It matters a lot because here's the thing, and I see this again even in our own relationship, where one of us is, I don't want to say saving, but trying to protect the other one from themselves in a way. Like one of us will be doing so or not checking on something, like not protecting your health or doing something that's dangerous. And like, I know you and I have gotten into some real fights over things that I've said, like, you need to do this or not do this, or you've told me you need to do this or not do this. And it's not because we want to cause a fight with the other one. That's for sure. It's because we care about the other one's well-being, and we're willing to take those uncomfortable fights because we love the other person and we don't want something to happen to them.
And nothing Vera was doing was overbearing.
No.
She was calling to check on him every day because he is in a remote area with limited resources and he is ill.
And it doesn't sound like he has literally anyone else.
Yeah. So what would you do if you were Vera? I guess probably there's a part of you that would just suck it up and realize he is in a bad place and he's going to react poorly and still just do the best you can to keep the person you love safe.
And that's really what it is. I mean, when you're in that position, and again, I mean, this could be someone who is mentally unwell like he was, or even someone who's mentally well. Like, now you do have to be a little careful when you are in the mentally well category. Like, you've got to, like, I can tell you some of the biggest fights I've ever had in my relationships in my life have involved health and safety. They are, because I am willing to die on that hill if you're doing something that either is unsafe or unhealthy or could cause danger, or because here's the thing, you especially you have one life and you don't get to go back on it. And
well,
whether it's something
you might have one life or you might have many lives. Depends how you look at things.
Did we just take a really weird existential turn here?
Just bringing up the fact that not everyone's going to agree with you that you have one life.
We have this life here, and like, you don't want to see somebody lose it because they did something dumb. You also don't want to see them do something dumb that causes them to become like a paraplegic or becomes like truly handicapped, and where the quality of life just massively diminishes over time. So it's hard because, like, you're going to have fights over it. Like, Amber, I guarantee you 1,000% we have not had our worst. Well, hopefully we've had our worst, but we've not had our last fight over
argument.
No. Sometimes they're fights. I mean, not physical, but like over health and safety issues for me. And
I do like to tightrope over the Grand Canyon while I'm drunk sometimes. And fortunately, Scott steps in for my health and safety.
Oh, that's maybe not that dramatic. And don't get me wrong. Listen, you do the same thing with me where you're like, I'm just checking on you. I want to make sure that you're okay. And then we it's actually funny because you and I say to each other a lot, I can't care more about your health than you do or whatever.
I can't care about more of fill in the blank than you do. Yeah.
And that's just false. That's just absolutely false. Like I actually truly believe that I care more about your health than you do, and you care more about my health than I do.
Okay. When I say you can't, it's not that you're not able. It's that should not be the dynamic. You should not want something for someone more than they want it themselves.
But no, disagreement, massive, because there are a lot of things in this world that I wouldn't do for myself that I would do for you.
Well, that's not what I'm saying.
But like,
that's a completely different topic.
I mean, is it? I mean,
it's like, suppose you were starting a candle making factory. Terrible analogy. And you're saying, I want to do this candle making business. I'm going to do it. And then I'm the one making sure you have the wax and the wicks and that you're getting into your little wood shop area to work on your candles. Like, I can't want something more for you than you actually working on yourself. And that's what I'm talking about is when I say I can. Sure, you can, but that is not a healthy dynamic for you to want something for someone that they're not willing to put in the effort to do for themselves.
Yes. So I think this is where we come into the wants versus needs category.
And also boundaries that maintain your sanity, because if you keep working for other people to get them what they say they want, but they're not willing to put in the elbow grease or the effort or the energy to do it themselves, like, you need to take a step back, because you're on the fast track to driving yourself insane.
I mean, I think you're going to find with a lot of people that them going to the doctor is probably more often, I mean, unless it's clear-cut cases, like, it's probably prompted by someone in their life who said, no, really, you need to go to the doctor and get this taken care of. And
yeah, people think if they don't go to the doctor or dentist, they don't have a problem if they don't have to fix it.
Yeah, that's not true. The guy who buried his best friend from high school like 10 months ago because at age 50, he had a lethal heart attack because he didn't keep up with his health, despite the fact that he had had some tests done and every sign in the world that he had a problem was there. He didn't do something about it. Now, in that dynamic, I don't think his wife knew much. I'm not going to go into that dynamic more, but like, you should definitely share health stuff with your partner. And if you're a good partner, you're pushing your partner to get that thing taken care of. So
yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. Another, what would you do?
Yeah, moving on.
That I think about when it comes to this film, Good Boy.
Good boy.
There we go.
Good boy.
There we go. I'm setting you up, man. Is when Todd is walking around the property, he comes across a bunch of tombstones, and he says to Indy, this is my family. They all died young. Do you think that's maybe something we're sitting with for a moment? If you have visited a property and you have moved there that was your family property, and you have an attached graveyard of all your family members who died there, who died young, what would I do? I'd maybe stop and think for a second.
Well,
because what's happening there? We're not in like ancient times where people got sick and died at 25.
The problem is, again, you have to go back to Todd's impaired state. Like,
I don't have to go back to Todd's anything.
He's not thinking straight, though. I get the sense from him that even if he was, he'd probably still make some of those same decisions.
Yeah, it wasn't his first time up to that property, I don't think. I mean, It was his grandfather's. He had been there before, and his grandfather left him the property, so he was familiar with it.
So, a couple of things I have to note. For one, Grandpa's an asshole.
Why is that?
Do you not know? Did you not catch the scene where Grandpa was just a complete dick?
Okay, elaborate. What are you talking about?
When he was giving away his possessions, he was like, to my granddaughter, the vegan, I leave all my taxidermy. Like, you son of a bitch. Like, seriously, that's the biggest slap in the face that you could possibly do. Like, Grandpa deserved to die. Just for that statement alone.
Have the malevolent shadow take him out, which actually I think happened.
Yeah, I mean, like, but no, seriously. Like, if someone's a freaking vegan, fucking respect that. Like, it's their own choice.
Well, it depends. If they're an ethical vegan, then yeah, respect that. If they're doing it because they're healthy and they want to eat broccoli, then I'm sure you can leave them your taxidermy, and it would not be the same offense if someone's doing it because they're trying to protect the lives of animals.
I just said be respectful, and it's the line of respect is going to be different.
But if someone's just doing that
things.
because, hey, I'm a runner and I want to eat lean and healthy, I don't think the taxidermy necessarily matters.
Listen, if she was a vegan for health reasons, he isn't mentioning when he's giving her the taxidermy that she's a vegan.
Yeah. Because
those two things would then be wholly unrelated.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, because she probably did it because she does love animals. So to give her a bunch of dead, gutted, stuffed animals is pretty darn cruel.
Yeah. And number 2, I actually have this really isn't a what would you do, it's a question for you.
Okay.
Is Indy in line to win an Academy Award? Because drawing from Poor Things, I have learned that one of the things that gets you an Academy Award is peeing on the floor.
That's true.
And Indy did indeed piss on the floor a bit.
He did. He stood there just like she did in Poor Things and just peed. Yep.
Yeah, so maybe...
Winner.
Maybe. Though I do want to say one thing that I find is interesting, because as you know, I work with the AIs a lot, and I feel like they could make this movie with AI in probably a few weeks, maybe even less than that, with some of the tools that are out there. Like, if they wanted a shot, they could just get the shot, because I know OpenAI has came up with something that's about modeling. Like, you give it a model. Like, this is your human or animal or whatever it is, and it can model it nearly perfectly and shoot video with sound effects and everything in there. Like,
oh, and Shane, who did this film, he said this process of creating this film was 3 years because they were working with their dog, who was not an animal actor. The world was very different 3 years ago, and those resources weren't available. And what I'm really curious to see is the upcoming film Coyotes, because it looks like those coyotes are AI generated, but it also looks like they look incredibly real. And this is the world that we're going to be entering, is animal actors are not going to be a thing as much as they used to be. We don't need to bring an elephant into a scene when we can create an elephant.
So there is a difference. I mean, yes, it's both technology. Here you get into AI versus CGI, where CGI is you're creating the model itself and then modeling how it moves and putting it onto the screen and doing stuff. And CGI is really good these days.
Yeah.
Like, you should never have to use animals, like, in a film, like, ever. You really should not have to. And maybe you would if it was something that was very small and light and there's no real strain on the animal. Like for example, when we watched The Smashing Machine, the cat.
Right.
That was there sitting on the lap. You could use a cat for that. That's perfectly fine. But yeah, if you're doing long chase scenes and things that were like when Indy jumps through a window, which I know that was the window breaking part was added in afterwards, but like, you just wouldn't need that anymore. Like, I mean, literally,
it's advanced so much over the last couple of years.
It's not even the last couple of years. Like, OpenAI literally a few days ago announced this Sora 2, which is just, I haven't had a chance to use it because it's waitlist right now, but I saw the demo on it. It's ridiculous. And I mean, the whole, Tilly Harwood or Tilly Norwood, the AI actress that a talent agency tried to sign, and I think they didn't know it was an AI actress until someone tried to sign her. Yeah, the AI is here, but there's still no substitute for a good boy. A good boy.
We hope you enjoyed our episode. Thank you for listening. And to catch all the new episodes, please subscribe. We release 2 to 3 episodes weekly, so we'll have new content regularly. Until next time.